Hey,
Hi,
Catherine.
Greg.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, how are you?
thank you so much for all this. I'm great, thanks. This is all
Oh, you're
really,
so
really
sweet.
helpful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I've got some kind of general questions. I've
Yeah.
been trying to get my oils and blends and carriers and products
hmm
organized so that I can use them more
hmm
efficiently and effectively. And I found that there's just a whole bunch of questions that come up when I start looking at them. So,
hmm
I mean, I could keep you busy for hours with these questions, but I thought I'll ask just a few at a time, if
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
okay.
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, fire away.
So if I just start from an easy place to start, it kind of
hmm
builds on what Cindy asked about the difference between using an oil and an ointment.
Sure.
So when I look at all the carrier oils that I have, some of them seem just kind of generic, but there are three that I realized are really special ones, and I don't know when you'd use one rather than another. And that's the
Okay.
Kalahari blend, sesame
Great.
oil, and Tamanu.
Yep. Those would be the three that I would say those are your go-to ones. And so let's start with sesame. So sesame is not a blend. It is just a single carrier oil.
Mhm.
But the thing that I like about sesame, and there's the sesame oil that you get at the grocery store, and then there's the sesame oil that you get, that's like what they would call cosmetic grade, which is what we're using. And the difference is it's really the same oil. It's just that when you use it for cosmetic applications, they filter it more because the thing that gives it taste are these little particles in the oil that could make it smell like stronger and make that rancid smell a little faster, like in your clothing or something if you put it on, and it potentially can clog the pores. And so we use a cosmetic grade sesame oil, which is like what you'd go to the health food store and buy. But then even within that realm, just like with olive oil, there's like special grades of, sesame oil, and they don't quite call it like extra virgin, which is like the olive oil to the different pressings. And so, but there's just different grades of it. And so we actually use a little bit of a higher therapeutic grade of sesame oil. It's a bit more expensive, on our end for it, but we're looking at it not as just for a massage or something. We're looking at it as a kind of medicine, like we do the essential oils. And so even the carrier, we don't want to like just bypass that and treat it like it's nothing, because it is something quite substantial. So bottom line, if you go why or when would I use sesame oil, is sesame oil is really great for supporting and stimulating lymphatic function. So basically your body's ability to detoxify, and even you could say a little bit of increasing or improving the potential of your body to fight off like viruses and bacterias and things, just because it's impacting the lymphatic system and the lymph nodes. And so it works really super well for that. And so I would use sesame oil for a lot of different things, like arthritic conditions, just the dull achy pain. You're needing to apply something to the abdomen or something like that, or when in doubt, I just go sesame. Like it is deodorized. Well, not deodorized. It's just been filtered more, so it doesn't quite have the stink, not stink, but the smell of like the food grade sesame. And so, the little town that we live in is, there's a lot of Ayurvedic medicine that gets practiced in the town, and they all use the food grade sesame oil. And it's like you can smell it because it's like it has like a bit of a rancid smell, like because people put their shirt on or something afterwards, and it's just like, ugh. It can get a little bit of a funk to it. This sesame oil doesn't do that. And so that's probably a good go-to one. Kalahari, it's a type of melon, and again, it's blended with a couple other oils, but the main ingredient there is the Kalahari melon, and that is anti-inflammatory. like very, very anti-inflammatory. And so anytime you're using blends or things to reduce inflammation, that can be very good. And then the Tamanu is again a bit of a blend. It has a little bit of sesame in there with it. It also has like a thing called helio carrot, which is like a pressed carrot. And then God, what else is there in there? There's Tamanu. There's one more thing in there. There's another oil that's supportive of it, but basically it's good for the joints. It's anti-inflammatory as well, but where sesame stimulates like lymphatic function, Tamanu helps the body detoxify to like a greater degree. Like it helps with phagocytosis. It helps with like the production of white blood cells. It's good for the immune system, but it's like for example, like if you're treating endometriosis, putting like tarragon and a massage oil like sesame on the abdomen, it works pretty good. But if you put it in with Tamanu, I mean, it literally actually can break up some of the endometriosis. And so I've actually have used versions of that and have almost completely eradicated endometriosis in some old clients way back in the day. And it has to be done consistently, but it has to be with Tamanu. Like if you do it with another carrier, it just doesn't do it. And so we look at the carriers to like kind of augment what's happening in the essential oils. But if in doubt, sesame is always solid, but any of them are good choices. But like when I'm making things, unless there's a reason why to use something else, I usually go sesame or Tamanu. Like I do Tamanu in some of the different ointments to a different degree. But that's usually where I go with it. Like if there's things that we're doing for the face or for a scar or for something like that, sometimes I do different combinations, but those three are really super solid choices and not a real big need to venture out of that trio there for as far as ointments and applications are concerned, unless you're wanting to do like a lotion or something like that. But yeah, I mean, sesame, I mean, this is how good sesame is. Like the especially the higher quality sesame. Sesame is almost as potent for the lymphatic system as the lymphatic blend I make. Like that's how good sesame is for the lymphatic system. Like it's kind of crazy how good it is. And so you put it together and it just augments what's already in place with each one of them. And so, when in doubt, things can always be treated lymphatically, like always. So.
Thank you. That's super helpful.